In our previous videos, we covered how to find tenants, how to make a decent lease agreement, and how to sign it. Now we are doing it for real. One building, 3 openings, and a ticking timer. We are filling these properties live on camera with you. These are 3 different units. They have different histories. The only thing that they have in common is the finish line. 0 vacancies in 60 days. With good and reliable tenants, obviously. The units are totally different in their purpose and history. So we'll have to target different tenants, adjust our marketing strategy and approach to each unit preparation. Stick around to see how we deal with each unit and that there is not such a thing as passive income with real estate in real life.
Stay with me.
Hello, I'm Felix. You have heard this speech before.
Real estate is easy. All you have to do this is just to find the property online, buy it with no money down, rent it, and start receiving a passive income.
What they skip is the hard part. Finding reliable tenants so that the passive income is at least stable. But actually it's not passive. And here's why. I've got 3 vacancies in one building. An apartment, a retail storefront, and a small business space. And a deadline. I need to fill these units up in 60 days. In today's video, I'll be sharing a quick history of each unit, the timeline, target rent, and the ideal tenant. This series will not end until all the units are rented. The ultimate goal is 0 vacancies with dependable tenants in 60 days. And now, let's see how it's done in real life. Unit number 1 is street level commercial or retail space. The best thing about this unit, it is a prime storefront on a high traffic street. When we purchased this property, the unit was leased to a long-term corporate tenant. The best part about corporate tenants is that the rent checks are deposited to our bank account on first day of each month like a clockwork. And the rest is quite tricky because property manager had to deal with bureaucracy, corporate responsibility, finger pointing, and idiotic conversations with their clueless lawyers from out of state.
I myself am more open-minded.
The unit was heavily built out because the business was cash check in place. So once that tenant left, the place had to be rebuilt back to its original leasable condition. After that tenant, the property was leased to a small retail business and it has been occupied for 18 months. The current tenant has provided a 6 months notice to vacate. This half-a-year term expires in 2 months, so we need to get going. And considering that this is a commercial space, this is going to be tricky. The ideal tenant for this property is going to be small retail business, some sort of professional service or retail location that needs window visibility. This property is not really suitable for large corporate clients.
We are a fucking bunch of wankers.
So we'll have to get creative with marketing this property. Facebook Marketplace prohibits advertisement of commercial spaces. On the other end, marketing on websites like LoopNet is going to be quite expensive for this property. I think the ideal tenant is going to be some kind of local retail business, but we'll be talking about marketing strategies for each unit in our next video. That is why you need to subscribe to our channel, not to miss it.
Just do it!
The next unit in this property is ground level office space. When we purchased the property, the unit was in absolute unusable condition. To be completely honest, the entire property was in very poor condition. Previous owner didn't put any money into this property at all. For example, this unit has a separate entrance, and that was the entrance to the basement as well. So instead of installing proper security entrance door, previous owner opted out for a screen door. Needless to say that occasional tenants of that unit were homeless people from all around the area. They gathered there for occasional sleepovers and other things. And every time I visited the property, I was greeted with the same question from different people.
Who the fuck are you?
Numerous talks and conversations with those people couldn't convince them that it was a private property and they couldn't use it as they please.
I'm not fucking leaving!
These people were staying around the property, and instead of using shelter places, these people were bringing their own mattresses to sleep over at the property. Not kidding you. I don't even know where they were hiding this mattress. I couldn't find it. Just look at this mystery box that we found when we were cleaning out junk from the unit. By the way, there was a lot of junk. So after numerous conversations with those people, we had to break our piggy bank and install a proper metal door. This is picture before and this is picture after. Cleaned out all the garbage, lots of garbage, repainted all the walls and floors, and split the entire floor in 2 sections. And one of these 2 sections is currently for rent. After that, the unit was rented to a variety of tenants, the most recent of which decided to vacate the property without prior notice. Bruh. I received a text message from that tenant on August 4th, which is less than 2 weeks from the date. There is some junk left by the tenant at the property, and the property was slightly remodeled by that tenant without prior authorization. So at the moment we have to deal with the prior tenant who left the property, clean it up, get it ready for the future renter, and put it on the market. By the way, let me know in the comments below if you want to know how to deal with such tenants. Ideal tenant for this unit is going to be a small creative studio, photographer, print or e-commerce business. You know, the businesses who do not have high retail traffic. Some occasional customers to visit the unit are fine, but not many of them. Again, ideal marketing plan is to list the property as soon as possible, but I'm being realistic about our timeline. First of all, we need to sort things out with previous tenant and then get the property ready for lease. 60 days to lease is going to be a pretty achievable goal. Once again, we wouldn't have been forced to do it so quickly, but because of the tenant who left without prior notice, we'll have to adjust our strategy a little bit. But I guess this is going to be a story for another video. Last but not the least unit, the apartment. Quick history about the unit. When we purchased the property around 10 years ago, all of the apartment units on the property were subsidized rent, which means previous owner was getting checks from the government programs and didn't bother with condition of the units. And they were terrible. After we acquired the property, each single unit was renovated. We renovated all the units completely. That means kitchen, bathroom, floors, walls, all of it. We didn't forget about hallway either. Previously, this unit was leased to a wonderful couple who promised that they'll take good care of the unit. But after spending too much time at home together, I suppose, they decided to split and trash the unit in the process. You should have seen the couple when they applied for the unit. Ideal family. Fun fact, after they left, they also texted me that the property was in good condition. The moments that you see right now, this was the condition of the property after that couple left. So this is the kitchen, the bedroom, floors, and the rest of the unit, as you may see. It did take us some time to renovate the unit again and put it on the market. The tenant who is currently at the property is very reasonable and responsible person. They gave their 3 months notice about vacating the property, so we do have 60 days to rent out this residential property. On one side, this is the easiest unit out of 3 to rent out. On the other side, there is a bit of a challenge too. 60 days is plenty enough to find good replacement tenant, and the challenge here is to minimize vacancy days so that when the current tenant moves out, we'll have minimum days to get the property cleaned and ready for the next tenant. Ideal tenant for the property is going to be a stable tenant who works or studies in the area. But since it is 1-bedroom apartment, maximum occupancy for the place is going to be 2 adults. And yes, I had inquiries about this property for 2 adults and 3 children. On my question on how they are going to fit in the property, the answer was
it fits their budget and somehow they'll manage.
Not an ideal fit if you ask me. Marketing for this property is not going to be an issue. Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist Craigslist is our oyster in this case. So there you have it. These are our properties, their current status, and the challenges. Let me know in the comments how would you approach marketing and positioning of each property. Maybe there is something that you would do differently. Tell me about what other aspects of the process you want to hear in the future episode. Do not forget to subscribe not to miss out on episode number 2. As always, be good people, do all the good things. Don't let bad tenants live in your properties and in your heads rent free. And I'll see you in the next one. Papa.
Okay, let's run.
What a green.